One of the best weeks of the year. And Real Men Wear Pink. Hello, everyone. It's, of course, Beanies for Brain Cancer Round. It's amazing. Now, this is a very Sydney thing, but it's amazing how this weekend always comes just as the weather turns. Just as the weather turns, Joel Kane. Hello to you. Because it has been the most magnificent early winter in Sydney, and then and I'm sure on southeast Queensland as well. But then this week, it's been cold. So beanies have come in at a perfect time.
Perfect time, and once again, Sean the Trader, $1,000 per try to the Mark Hughes Foundation. What wonderful things they're doing. So that's 10 years now, isn't it?
10 years, hasn't that gone quick? And I think we've been a part of it every year since inception. $1,000 for every try. So we've tipped in over 600K now, Dan, would you believe, over the journey. So hats off, or beanies off to everyone that's involved. Well done. Well, most importantly, the players.
Mark Hughes, former Sportsbet employee. And I think it was when
part of the family.
He was diagnosed was when he was Sportsbet, so I'm sure that's when you jumped in. No, that's not fair. I think Joel actually jumped in and took that job. Am I correct?
Yes. Actually, just on that, I've got a quick tale on that. So there was 6 months for a long reason why I couldn't do it, right? So I had to find a replacement for Mark Boozy Hughes, right? And Brian Fletcher came to mind.
That's right.
So you got to think about the money that Sportsbet would be putting behind such an ad on the footy show. This is, back in the day.
Prime time. Sure.
Prime time.
Yes.
And Brian Fletcher comes out and says, it's great to be part of Sporting Bet, who at the time were the number one rival to Sportsbet. And
I remember that.
He mentioned Sporting Bet about five times
or
in
six
this
times. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he went rogue?
No. No, he didn't go rogue.
You reckon he was a plant?
No, I don't. No, it'd be a great move from the other betting organisation to say we'll double the money.
That's what I mean. You reckon he was?
No, I don't. I am not accusing Fletch. I would accuse
I haven't thought of that.
Joe Rogan.
The other betting firm would have been, well, anyway, they're dead now. So 60,000+ expected for Mark Hughes Foundation this year, just based on the current try rate. So if you want to buy the beanie, these always sell out. markhughesfoundation.com.au. There's certain shops that we used to be.
I think
Coles
we're looking
Lowe's.
we're looking for an IGA maybe.
IGA, that's the one. IGA.
But I think the major retailers will have them as well. But I think the easiest way, at the ground, they'll be selling them, or grounds, and the foundation website.
Well done.
So jump on, because they will sell out. When I first saw the pink one, I thought, I'm not going to be able to wear that. But I'm a fan of the pink pom-pom, which...
Well, he wanted to wear this one.
I was wearing it as we entered the studio.
Uniformity with the brown ones. And
good.
All right. Let's look at last week. And again, major scenes... Major dramas behind the scenes, because there was a jinx at about 4:50. A text was sent. What do you call it? A message was sent on the WhatsApp that this thing was over. We'd wrapped up the best bets. Why? Because Joel had the Bulldogs plus 7.5 line, and they covered. They won, didn't they?
They won the game. Never in doubt.
I, in that same game, had Dogs Eagles under. That was also never in doubt. And then the Raiders led 16-0 over Melbourne, and they had plus 8.5. So they're plus 24.5. Message comes. If you don't believe in the jinx, message comes in. What did it say?
It said, "Here we go."
Here we go. Why would you send that to someone? 24 up.
Yep.
And then you know what happened. So again, geez, we're getting a lot of meatloafs.
We've got to bring back the photo of the great mate. Where is the photo of
Right.
I don't know.
But it's okay. It's okay, because it's been a fat time. I missed this last week, but Joel Kane absolutely nailed this one. I always like it when you can nail a flair for a losing player. And it was Braden Burns. In fact, here we go. Let's have a look.
He's been buttoned up, Dallin, so they'll have to chase the other side. And I just think for the flair, I think Braden Burns, 2 tries at the $6 is how I'm playing.
I don't mind it, Shug. Masterclass.
Well, you know what? For those who watched the 10-minute edition of Get 'em Onside over the weekend, we actually in jest, because we were diametrically opposed. I was keen on Burns to score 2. You were keen on the Warriors 13+. And as it turned out,
both
it would have been the ultimate zig and zag.
That is a big zig and zag, yeah.
They would have paid a fortune. Very easy to get excited about one game in that stadium, but So I don't want to overcook it, Sean, but I'm ready to give them the 20th franchise now.
Turn the oven on and get that bird in the oven. Cook it, because that was... I mean, look at it. Why can't we have nice things like that? Look at that stadium. There was a drone, just like we saw there, but it was even during the game, there was activity going on around it. Looks outstanding. The crowd... Now, like the Wars fans, I know it's going to be a new team, but that doesn't scare me in the slightest, because the Kiwis as a nation just turn up and get behind their teams. And yes, it was a Warriors game in Christchurch, but you plonk a brand new team there, they'll be on board straight away, Sugar, and they will fill it every single weekend, just like the Wars do up at Mount Smart. There is no issue with that.
I don't buy into it all, the fact that it diminishes what the Warriors have. I actually think it adds to it. And you think about it, Dan, from a commentary point of view, twice a year they would make them play each other.
Yes. Yeah.
Be huge.
Enormous.
Yes. Well, you got options too. Christchurch, I don't know enough about New Zealand to make have an educated opinion, but wouldn't it make sense, South Island, call them whatever you want, Christchurch, call them, but you have 8 games at that joint, all right? That is a destination stadium.
Yep.
That is a stadium like Allianz in Sydney, like maybe Suncorp. You would actually, it would enhance the event being at that stadium. 2 games at the Cake Tin, maybe including a derby, because you get 35,000 there, and then a couple down at Dunedin down south. Does that not sound like a plan?
I just like hearing the Cake Tin.
Cake Tin.
The Cake Tin. Awesome stuff. Game's flying.
And but see, people say, but television wants the 5th Queensland team. I'll tell you what New Zealand television wants, and don't forget, that's going to be sold as well as part of the TV rights.
Yeah.
Is New Zealand television, which is worth a pretty penny, especially if they get that free-to-air station involved that's been talked about. All of a sudden, you got double the New Zealand product. You got 2 derbies to sell.
Yep.
Come on.
Awesome.
Come on. All right. Wasn't it generous of the NRL to give Perth Bears concessions? That is a fascinating development there. So the Perth Bears start in about 5 minutes, Joel, and yet now they've been given $500,000 in salary cap concessions in a landmark third-party agreement. The amount of players eligible for the concessions is unlimited, provided the total stays beneath 500. Well, I imagine that's only going to fit 1 or 2 players.
It's not much, is it? It's not much at all. When you think of some of the eye-watering numbers you need to pay to get a big fish, I mean, 500 doesn't go far when you split it maybe between 4 players, is it? So I don't know if it's going to really move the dial or move the needle, Dan.
What about moving the Nicarima? How come we haven't heard Nicarima attached to the Bears?
Yeah, he'd be great. Like, you get 2 good years out of him. He seems like a good culture guy.
I was saying to Fletch the other day that surely if you're Katoa, it just works perfectly for his game. Like, wouldn't you be begging the Dolphins?
You'd be knocking on the boss's door
please,
saying,
let's
you've got to
keep
keep
this guy.
Would you be going behind the scenes? Listen, how tight is that George Williams contract?
Yeah.
And can we move him on to Perth?
It's closer.
Remember, he likes the beach, George Williams. That's why he left Canberra. Perth's got beaches.
Closer.
Yep. So Game 3 Origin. By the way, next week Matty Rogers will be in this. Well, no, Joel will be in this chair. Matty Rogers will be in that chair. That's
we
right?
lose you again.
Well, these are planned holidays. I'm sorry. Hang on.
I'll have to roll these up and do another Bobcat Ryan like last week.
Yeah, but you're doing. Then you're having a week off after me. So let's just not.
Any week offs for me at any point?
No, you had 9. Well, after your 9 months off.
Can I get a holiday?
Aren't you getting another?
You're going to be the first person in history. I worked this out. So you came public the fact that your great self and Vanessa, that little George is going to have a sibling, a little brother.
I'm not sure. We probably haven't announced it on the show, but yeah.
A little brother.
Yes,
a little brother, right?
Oh, we even know.
Yes, confirmed.
Okay.
Little bro.
So the paternity leave thing that you negotiated with Sportsbet,
No
you
negotiation.
could be getting paid 2 paternity leaves at once, which is unprecedented stuff.
2 at once.
2 at once.
I don't mind that. I like where your head's at.
Nice. Well done.
So,
Well played.
I might give you a 2-minute cross from where I am next week.
Okay.
Oh, we should be so lucky to get 2 minutes out of you, Dan.
Says the bloke who couldn't get internet working in Erskineville. Remember when during COVID, no, I can't possibly do these shows because I can't get the internet. Game 3, before we put up the markets, talk about zigging and zagging. I'm actually warming to New South Wales, strangely.
So am I.
$2.50 is a joke. And I just can't see them starting $2.50. Queensland deserved favourites.
Yeah.
I just can't see New South Wales being $2.50 by the time they kick off.
What do we say on this show more than any other show on the planet probably? It is all about the price that you take, right? So, like, do I think they're going to win the game? Maybe not, but there's not much in it either way. I don't think they can be certainly any worse than what they were in game 2. And all of a sudden now, there's actually a little bit of pressure on Queensland. It's almost a foregone conclusion in everyone's mind that it's in Suncorp, they're just going to win the game from what we've seen. Bit of pressure comes their way. Yeah, $2.50 plus 4.5. This is going to be not much in it at all.
Corey Parker said from a Queensland point of view that they're looking in and it's almost like we're already defeated New South Wales. And he said, mate, you're 80 minutes away from winning the series.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I know.
Well, I think the Blues were so bad in Melbourne, it was almost a good thing for them just to rip the Band-Aid off 100%. And to realise things need to change. Things like Cam Murray has to start. Can we please just get that going? Cleary cops a lot. I'm not sure Yo's ball playing works as well in Origin. That's not to criticise him because I'd have him in the front row or come off the bench, but that's part of that Penrith style. I'd put Ethan Strange. Anyway, they'll come up with their plan, but I think the better thing for New South Wales was to get flogged, not to lose a thriller and say, oh, we were just unlucky, because they weren't unlucky. What have you looked at?
Oh, the early try market. Ethan Strange, 7.75. That's a bet, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, like, is it so obvious that it's not going to happen that he's going to start the game on that left side of the field, Sugar? Like, he just has to. He has to. It's do or die. They are a much better team. And to be fair, whether it's Cleary or Moses, I'm not sure it really changes too much either way. They are dominant, very traditional halfbacks. You throw Strange on next to one of those guys, I don't think it really matters. I'll be having a slice of that.
Liam Martin for me.
Liam Martin.
Because I know he's going to be there. I don't know if Hamole's going to be there at $5.60 because Laurie clearly has got doubts. But Liam Martin, haven't we heard reports already that spot is his?
Yeah.
And we're talking on a Wednesday before the teams are selection.
They need some crazy. They need some crazy in that team. Did you see him, the sort of breathing techniques Liam Martin was doing in the sheds before?
Mad breather.
One of the, that actually scared me looking at
great breathing.
Great breathing. He's a lunatic.
He had a great 20 minutes against Gold Coast. It was like he did the 20 minutes he had to impress. Not that he wasn't trying for the rest of the 60. But his last 60 didn't match his first 20.
What about Tommy Turbo there, who we didn't mention, 4.10?
He has to be in the team.
But where do you play him?
Well, if you get him on the wing at 4.10, you'd be pretty happy.
I like him on the wing too. Roving commission. He's never played an Origin at fullback.
I know.
I wouldn't play him at fullback this time because I think he needs. He did look unfit. When I say unfit, just needs a gallop.
So what camp are you in? So we mentioned last week, Dan, in your absence, Teddy has had 35 passes in Origin 2026. 25 of the 35 have been from dummy half or first receiver.
Yeah, Teddy, no. I don't think
Edwards?
Cleary... I would have Dylan Edwards. I think Yo is the odd man out. If you're thinking it's too much Penrith, Yo does so much ball playing. If you take Yo out, now Cleary, the response... And Strange is on his left. Cleary takes over. I want Cleary taking over, don't you?
Yeah, of
I want
course.
Cleary running the whole show. I don't want him deferring to Yo. I don't want him referring to Moses. I want them to live and die by Cleary.
So this was the thing that perplexed me at the start, and I love Laurie as a bloke's champion, but I was thinking, why did they go? They went with Robson because of his connection with Tedesco, but I would have thought the combination between 7 and 1 was more important than 9 and 1, right? So therefore, if there's a split match between Edwards and Teddy, wouldn't you rather have the halfback happy? Mm-hmm. And the halfback is proven to be comfortable with Edwards.
Yeah.
Fair?
Isn't the most important connection the 7 and the 9, though?
Yeah.
Don't you want the 7 and the 9?
Fine.
So I'm having Appy.
I agree with that too.
Put Appy in.
So Appy, Cleary, Edwards.
Yeah.
Yes?
Brayley's back, though.
Yep.
Bailey was disappointing on Sunday night.
Well, it's a risk. It's a risk, Brayley, with that arm, right? So
Malmeninga
you'd
arm
have
guard,
to put in a backup 9 in your 19.
Did he wear 2 arm guards?
It did look like that, didn't it?
To
Throw him off.
throw him off?
Yeah, maybe.
But they could just go to a replay. I can't remember which arm it was, but I'm sure they could just go to a KO mini, see him clutching his arm and go, go after his left arm or right arm, whichever one it was. Man of the match, do we put the man of the match market up? Let's have a look, man of the match. All right, Mr. Narrative. No, what's the narrative here? Sam Walker favourite $7.
Yeah.
Well, obviously for the audio people, I'll read these odds out. Sam Walker $7, Cleary $7.50. My man Harry Grant $9. Strange 26, Turbo 41, Liam 46, Liam Martin 46. They're selected ones.
Yeah, well, there's 2 bets on the screen immediately. You forget. Don't forget about the top 2, but they've already won man of the match already. Cleary game 1. Could argue he wasn't. Sam Walker in game 2. Dan, you're certainly going to argue that he wasn't the man of the match. So it brings Harry Grant in, and if Ethan Strange is starting number 6. Sign me up for $26. That is an amazing.
Sam Walker was man of the match in game 2 because he was dudded in game 1.
So, and these are the things you got to think about.
Yeah.
I've
I've got the narrative and it swims against your sort of data. Please, this is a deciding game at Suncorp Stadium. This kid Cleary is one of the greatest we've ever seen. Questioned around his ability to handle Origin. $7.50.
I like $7.50 too. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
I never like Cleary for man of the match because the odds are too skinny.
I know they don't win often twice in a series, but
Often or ever.
different.
Yeah.
Here's the question for Cleary.
Maybe.
Is this the most important game in his career?
Yeah.
Because he is 0-3 in deciders, 0-3, and he's got the full premiership. He can't do anything more in NRL. That's done. He's a legend in NRL forever, 4 in a row. You win an Origin in Brisbane and he dominates game 3, one game can change a lot of his Origin story.
Is Nathan Cleary, is this match, is he playing for Immortality?
Oh, so that's
There's a big jump.
That's a wordsmith there. That's much better than what I said. That's good. I like it. You were right.
Do you think he is?
I think he's got time. He's still got years ahead of him.
But deciders,
but I think you don't get many chances like this.
Exactly. Deciders in Suncorp, or at Suncorp, don't come around very often. And to grab it by the scruff of the neck, maybe, yeah. If there's one player I'm going to swim against the narrative tide and go with you, it is him.
Yeah.
But it's just something to keep in mind that he's already won it. In contentious circumstances already. I think if it's a 60-40 split between, so Cleary's the 60%, Strange is 40, I still think they're going Strange's way. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be a very, very dominant display.
But it will be. I think if Cleary...
Well, probably has to be, doesn't it? Yeah.
Because he will run the show. But I know that in Melbourne, it was very evident early. Now, Cam Munster had a lot of help around him, but it was evident Munster was try and carry the team on his back. They were going to live and die by him.
Yeah.
I just want Cleary to have that same attitude. Do not be generous. Just be selfish.
Can anyone come over the top of Sam Walker from a Queensland point of view to win the Wally?
KP can. Kalen
Can he?
Pollock. I reckon he can, yeah.
See, I've
if
got an
Grant's
interest on
man of the
KP. He's
match?
my tip to win it, right? But I just don't know if he can go past Sam Walker. Sam Walker's should have got man of the match and the man of the match.
1.5 man of the match.
Yeah, no, but I think he was the 4th pick, and I'd say this having backed him in game 2. I was shocked when I saw Danica Mason holding the medal during the interview.
Remember?
I think he was the 4th option there. Cobbo was in front of him, certainly. Harry Grant was in front of
Munster.
him, certainly. And I think Munster was better
Definitely.
as well. So,
Did the commentary? I didn't.
We haven't mentioned
I didn't watch the. I didn't. I was at the game. I didn't. Did the TV commentators glaze Walker?
glowing.
So that's that is such
But
a
they
big
also
factor.
did. But they also did the same to Ethan Strange in game 1. That's why I was getting very up and about on the couch watching game 1 because his name was mentioned a lot, and then it went to Cleary. So you never know.
All right. Shall we get into some more
Some numbers, Dan.
some more data? Wow, we are the data show. I like it. What have you got for us?
We are the Data King. So we're just past the halfway mark of the season. Now, the ladder can be a little bit... Well, it doesn't really tell the full story, does it, Joel? Even forgetting about your buys and whatnot. But I've ran the numbers on which teams are exceeding their expected win number versus what they've actually walked away with. Newcastle Knights, probably no surprises because they were like spoon favourites at the start of the year. They're sitting atop the differential ladder of their expected wins v actual, almost 3 wins ahead of what the market has said. The WAR's very, very good as well. This is incredible with the Panthers because they have been extremely short in a lot of these games. They're actually exceeding that as well. Just goes to show how good of a year they're having. The Cowboys doing something similar, plus 1.3-ish ahead of what they're expected to. This is the good story. Let's spin to the next page and it tells a pretty bad story as well. This is the teams that are going poor, and there is look at some of the names at the bottom end of the table. Now the Dragons, you've only got 1 win. It's going to be a bad number regardless. They were expected to win 4, so going really, really poor against expectation. But then above them, the Broncos, the Melbourne Storm, the Raiders and the Bulldogs, all really, really poor. And the Titans, you might think, well, the Titans are probably having maybe a better year than what we expected. The market actually had them going a little bit better than where they are right now. So you can certainly continue to back the Newcastle Knights, I think, with some confidence, given the market hasn't quite found them yet.
Yeah.
What's jumped out at you?
Oh, well, just what you're showing there, Shawnee, and you can catch that on YouTube if you missed it. You're listening through the audio, perhaps driving your car.
There's a lot of info.
A lot of data.
A lot of info, and it's worth having a look at. But there's 2 things out of it. The first graphic, I think there's a fair case to show that to the people who judge for the Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year, Sugar.
That would help them. And at the other end, the second graphic which you showed, of the 5 sides who have underachieved against what was expected, was the top 4 last year.
Bulldogs,
Storm, Raiders, Broncos.
Wow.
4 of the 5. So that also tells you that a lot of punters and the market are expecting, they'll get it good, they'll come good. We've got long memories.
Long memories, and we need to speed it up a bit. Can I throw one more little graphic at you, Dan?
Before you throw the graphic.
Yes.
So, okay, you've given me all this information. What does this mean going forward?
Well, it means...
What are you telling me? That Newcastle are better than what you're...
it's saying that the market is significantly, I think...
underselling
you can deduce from this number.
Okay.
They're underselling Newcastle Knights, but we're still hanging on to the Bulldogs. We're still hanging on to the Raiders. We're still hanging on to the Broncos. The red pen's out for a lot of them.
Can I just say this as a suggestion? I don't want to start you on your buy thing, because I think giving no points for a buy is not a solution either. Can we just... I've said this before, but having the Cowboys not in the 8 when they've had a record of 8-5 is a friggin' joke, right? just percentage. 8-5 is better than 8-7. I don't care what the for and against is. 8-5 is a better winning percentage than 8-7. Just winning percentage. That's it.
And if you don't want to go win percentage, if you issued the same amount of points each week, and you could do that by the easiest way, it'd be far closer if you gave 1 point for teams on a bye. Mm-hmm. So you're still issuing every week the same amount of points. That would be the closest way to have the ladder if we're giving points out.
I'm team Ghanaian here.
Percentages.
Absolutely.
Well, it's just like we can't. I mean,
that's the most accurate.
we're getting so Americanized, right? Just and as a commentator, I'm guilty of this. I refer to a team, Parramatta, are 5-9. We never used to say 5-9. We would say 10 points or 12 points or 5 wins and 5-9. American culture has become so ingrained in our language. I mean, we're not the AFL where we're trying to get in playing tournaments and having entrance fair dinkum.
What about that?
Okay. To give you an idea, so last round there was three teams with a bye, wasn't there? Right? And we're giving 6 points out as if they've all won the game. It's ridiculous.
I shouldn't have meant. Why did I bring up that?
No,
I shouldn't have.
That's Dan.
One more thing you've got?
One more. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that's noticed maybe a little bit of a change in the 6 again noise being sounded out across the stadiums of the NRL world. Look at rounds 1 to 13. Joel Kane set restarts per game, a tick under 9. The total points across the league at that point was a tick under 50. Very, very high scoring. Now, what happened after round 13? You might ask. State of Origin happened, Sugar. State of Origin occurs. What naturally happens in State of Origin? The whistle tends to go away and we find a bit of normality, but it's transferred over to the NRL. Rounds 14, 15 and 16. Set restarts down by 36%. And the point scoring is down by 10% as well, a tick under 45 points per game. Keep this in mind when you're watching the footy, but also when you come to our best bets later in the show. There has been a significant change in the officiating, particularly the set restarts, and it having a clear impact on totals.
Yeah, so Shawnee's saying, folks, the set restarts have meatloafed. So now they're doing 2 out of 3 of what they used to do.
Spot on.
maybe the players are behaving better.
Yes, maybe.
It's funny how they've just been able to figure out, what not to do after State of Origin's occurred.
All right, the scepticism. I don't like the scepticism. I'm all about hope and joy. Parramatta versus South Sydney starts off round 17. South Sydney bring back Cam Murray. Parramatta bring back Mitchell Moses. No Latrell Mitchell. And he's out for a month. Have I got that right? Okay, so he ends up not playing an Origin. I think I forecast that at the start of the series. Parramatta, last game they beat the Raiders 15-12, coming off a bye. South also coming off a bye, beat the Broncos 48-6. South surprisingly number 2 attack in the NRL. They've been going well. I didn't realise they were going that well. They've won 9 of their last 10 against the Eels. Record against the current top 8 for Parramatta 0-4. And 6 of their 9 losses, Parramatta by 13 plus. So all the numbers suggest South Sydney. I know you two have got a feeling about Parramatta. I just want to say it has turned in Sydney. The weather is supposed to be really bad this week, and I think dew is going to be a factor. If the rain stays away, which I don't think it will, I think dew is going to be a factor for the first time, particularly at CommBank where it gets particularly dewy, because the cold weather now means very damp nighttime games.
Yes, and also too, both these teams off the bye. So the last game for the Parramatta Eels, they were pretty good. They were pretty good, the Parramatta Eels.
Beat the Raiders, yep.
Beat the Raiders. And South Sydney, they had their best performance of the year. And well done to what they did, getting around Jai Arrow and the all white. There's an old saying, boys, that if someone wears all white to a fight, they often win, and they win easy, right? Because they have the confidence to keep it
They say that, do they?
nice and clean. And that's what they did. They kept their...
Do they?
Yeah.
No,
They kept it very clean against the Broncos. Can they back it up? That's the question. Now, where I see the opportunity here, Parramatta are the second worst in the comp for conceding tries versus kicks. South Sydney are the second best at scoring from kicks. And this guy, Cody Walker, is always in and around it. Go and look at all their tries from kicks. He's always right there. On that occasion, he was the receptor of it, caught it, gave it away. This time he sets up Tallis Duncan, and now he's going to catch him himself. This is going to be an area of the game where I think they can have a bit of joy, the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah, it scares me a little bit because I'm pretty keen on Parramatta here. Like, I don't think we can undersell the inclusion of Mitchell Moses. And we saw it last year. He missed a lot of footy, and we referenced this number at the start of the year. Their attacking output when he's in the team compared to when he's not there. So last year at 6.5 points per game, like incredible. 2026. Again, only a pretty small sample size, but it goes up by close enough to a converted try. So he gives them the shot in the arm that they need. And those numbers include a really poor round 1 game against the Melbourne Storm where they were just completely not in the fight at all from the first set of the game. It can't be understated.
Hang on. Remember that clip? that was a Sean the Trader special, that, against the Raiders. Kitty on a Katonga.
Oh, yes.
Might have backed him that night. It can't be undersold. And with, like, you look at the Bunnies backline with no Latrell Mitchell, it's Siegwald, it's Tallis Duncan, Ed Corsi on a wing. Like, I think there's areas that if a Yongi and Moses can start to connect with each other, Volkman's going to love having Mitchell Moses partnering him again. I think they can score a few points. Parramatta Eels, an ambush on home slate.
How can you have South have 3 buys and the Cowboys and Melbourne have only had 1?
Oh.
It's just come on, NRL. Come on, little things. Little things. I tend to think, what's the line on this game?
6.5, Dan. It's a nice number.
Too many. That's too many. I'd have to take Parramatta. Volkman's been playing great.
He has been.
So I think he's starting to really warm into first grade. Sean.
Flair bet. We saw it, big milestone game for Cam Munster last weekend. What did he do? He scored a try. Mitchell Moses, who is a decent, almost an under-assuming good support player, sure, because he does so much with the ball, but he can sniff out a try. Moses 1+, Eels upset is my flair.
Wow. 8.25. Well, very, very nice. He does score pretty regularly, Mitch Moses. Better than 1 every 5. It doesn't sound like much, but I could see him getting over the line. Gold Coast versus Canterbury, 6 p.m. Friday at Cbus Super. Titans playing great. 2 of their last 3 they've won. Although coming off a win, they've now lost 7 in a row. So they don't win 2 in a row often. Dogs quietly and unimpressively have won 3 of their last 4, so they're winning. They've got a great record over the Titans, won their last 3, average margin of 22 in those games. But they have scored 16 or less in 7 of their last 8 games. In fact, looking at some of their wins here, gents, they beat Manly with 13, they beat Parramatta with 14. Earlier in the year, they beat Canberra with 14, and they beat the Dragons with 15. That's going to dictate my betting. I don't anticipate a lot of points. Gold Coast not a great attacking team either. Canterbury. No Tupanua, who's, I know Matty Johns has been going on. He's their best player. He's absolutely right, actually. I thought Galvin had been there, but Tupanua's blown him out of the water. The big one, though, Crichton at 6, Burton at 3. I love the sceptics, and I don't think they're necessarily misplaced to think this is... Canterbury don't do anything by accident. This is the end of Matt Burton. This is just the beginning of the end of Matt Burton as a Bulldog. I like that.
Well, how's that relationship with Sherry going?
Well, they tried to move... Well, now this is a theory that someone espoused to me, that they tried to boot him out before, but he didn't take the bait. So, anyway, listen, I don't want to get into rugby league politics. Let's talk about the game. Sean, what are Canterbury missing?
Well, Matty Johns, couldn't agree more with him. Now, we don't often show highlights of a player who's not going to be there, but you need to see just how good Satilia Tupanua's been going for the Bulldogs. He is, and like Matty said, he's not just their best forward. I think he has been their best player. He's just so damaging with his ball runs. I can think of maybe 5 or 6 occasions off the top of my head where one run of his has turned into a try for the Bulldogs. He's got an offload. He's got this little short ball off the back of, or outside of Lockie Galvin, which is Galvin's pet play. The one caveat is Jacob Preston's name is sort of loitering around the reserves list. It's a short comeback from... broken arm, I think it was. That's the one call out for me. But even if Jacob Preston is there, and the Bulldogs are the smallest favourites you'll ever see, I think we've got the wrong favourite here. I think the Gold Coast should be shorter. Sugar.
Yeah, I think it's a flip of the coin. Well, it kind of is anyway. But I'll tell you one thing, Penrith Warriors and the Bulldogs pretty much all come out of that Cameron Serrao defensive system. Very aggressive on the last play. Josh Hannay twice has caught Warriors and the Panthers with an inside ball in the last, right? Because he knows what they do. This is against Canterbury, and a guy who has been cashing in on that kind of play is Curtis Moran.
I like him.
Curtis Moran has scored 5 tries in his last 8 games, which is more than he scored in 4 years at Canterbury. And I'll tell you, he's scoring his tries through 2 ways. One is that inside ball, and the other one is he's such a team player. He runs a lot of decoys, and sometimes he finds himself in front of the play the ball. And when the break happens, there's that inside ball, right?
Yeah,
so
nice.
Well done, Coach Hannay, on that one. But when he runs the decoys, he's in front of the play, and then all of a sudden he's just there for the try. That's a support play. Just a handy player. Comes on, he'll be off the bench.
Yeah.
I'm going to have something on Curtis Moran.
This feels like a 15-14, 14-12 special, one way or the other. But Canterbury win a lot of these, so that's why I kind of like them. But I've got now Friday Fun One returns because it's a 6 p.m. game. Now, before we flash it up, okay, we flashed it up. I wanted to have Josh Curran, everything around Josh Curran first try or Armand Lade, but you said it. Jacob Preston is 21. I want that right. When Canterbury in doubt, it's the play Galvin to right edge player. So I will just take Galvin, who scores himself, but halftime margin draw, low scoring, tight matchup, halftime margin draw, which you can get for $10, by the way. And I would suggest to you, I'd just go that. But Friday Fun One, we're trying to really beef up the odds. Lockie Galvin to get a try as well. You get nearly $30 for that. All right. Main game Friday, and really last chance hotel for the Brisbane Broncos. So Broncos get back the origin players, Walsh, Staggs, Haas. Roosters, no Crichton. He's out for a while. So Nat Butcher, who's been very good this year, is in the starting side. Hugo Savala returns, which means Billy Smith goes to the wing. Very good last week. The Roosters 27-8 over Cronulla. Never in doubt that game. They did beat the Broncos in a classic 38-24 at Allianz. Great record over the Broncos at Suncorp. They've won their last 5. Nwanganita 5 doubles or better in his last 7 games. What a record. Broncos, awful. Last 6 they've lost, conceding 36 a game. And the last 6 first halves, this is when they're getting blown apart, they've been outscored. What about this? 114 to 18. So they're just getting killed by half time. It feels like the Roosters should win.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling the Broncos, they've got to have a sting in the tail, don't they?
This is what it worries me a little bit. Like when you look at something and it just jumps off the page as being so obvious, keeping in mind this was -2.5/3.5 at the start of the week before teams were named. There wasn't too many surprises. I think we knew most of the info. So there's been a big push for the Chooks to get them to where they are now, 7.5. That still looks so obvious. Everything we know about the Broncos, even with those names coming back into the team, because they've been there during this awful run. Maybe not all on the pitch at the same time, but Walsh, Staggs, Payne Haas, I'm not sure if they're going to arrest this slump that they're in because something's going on off field. You take Reynolds out. There's a lot going on up at Brisbane. What I do know about the Roosters, completion rates are important, more than ever now for all teams. But I think it's the kryptonite of the Chooks. When they hold onto the ball and don't defeat themselves, look at I've used 75% as a sort of watermark, Dan. When it's below 75, they score less than 3 tries per game. When they get it above that, and it's usually north of 80 once they do go above that, it's a tick under 6 tries per game they score. I think if they are to hold onto the ball, it's not just a -7.5 you want to get around. I think you want to go to the ultimate, Sugar. I want to get around and pick your own line, go big.
Yeah,
Wow.
-19.5. I was looking at that myself.
Yeah.
You mentioned Marky Mark, Nawanganawazi. He has 20 times in his career, 20 times he has scored at least one. But 60% of the time that he gets one, he gets multiple amount of tries. So he's a real confidence player. You saw that against Ronaldo Militalo. I took Ronaldo head-to-head. He led 1-0. I'm thinking, we're looking good here. But then Marky Mark goes, bang, back-to-back tries. He's really dangerous. If you get an opposing player flat-footed, watch this. He gets him flat-footed, and that's when he just schools you. He did the same thing in Origin. Exactly the same thing in the Origin. So he's a real handful, Marky Mark Nawanganawazi. It's a lovely battle, Mark and Ronaldo. It reminds me a little bit of this one, Dan. Remember these great
love
wingers?
that battle.
What about this battle back in the day? You remember this one?
Oh,
Yes.
Wendell and who?
And Mad Dog, the Manshake Man. And
Look at Wendell.
look at him looking at him.
for
yeah,
The other side of the field.
yeah,
Right.
There he is.
yeah, yeah. And did you see the number on Mad Dog's back was 4? He wasn't even on the wing.
No, that's right. That's right.
No, loved it. Rain is forecast, or certainly a possibility. So beware, buyer, beware. And Duffy and Hunt are the halves. Boy, they can't. Duffy, who's only started, I think this is his 4th game as a starting half. It's his 3rd different halves partner. He had 2 with Mam, 1 with Reynolds, or 1 with Mam, 2 with Reynolds. So they're not making it easy for the youngster. But again, he wears the number 6. You talked about Nawanganawazi. Take us away.
Yeah, well, he's going to be part of the the FLAIR.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to compensate from your meek. It
was meek, wasn't it? It
was
wasn't meek.
very meek. Marky Mark 2 or more. If he gets 2 or more, the Roosters have probably done a job 13 plus.
Yeah.
All right, Dolphins versus Warriors. This is the match of the round, isn't it?
By the Strait of Flemington and Randwick right together.
Is this the battle for number 2 on the NRL Imaginary Power Rankings? Winner of this is the 2nd best team in the Premiership.
I would have thought so.
Warriors are in danger of going down the 2025 path. They lose a player every week. They're losing a player every week. Jackson Ford, apparently not as bad as feared. It might only be a month, but that's still a month. So still no Fisher Harris, still no Halasima. Boyd's gone for the season. You've got Ford gone for a month. Still a pretty damn good-looking team. But look at the Dolphins. The Hammer, Cobbo, Katoa back. Plath is back. Really only Tom Gilbert among the top liners is missing. Big start, 6.5. 6.5. You can kick us off before we get to Sean's vision.
Yeah, people are talking about the Panthers, then Daylight, and then who's the 2nd best team. And obviously that's going to be the talk this week, the Warriors or the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins What do you boys quickly think? Long term?
I think the Dolphins are the only team that scares Penrith.
Yeah, I think so. My one query about is their style of footy when it gets to finals. I think it's the Wars style that probably takes over, but Dolphins just are going to score more points on you.
See, this is where I disagree. I think the Warriors style, Penrith do not fear the Warriors because Penrith see the Warriors as a mirror image but slightly less than. Whereas the Dolphins throw a lot of stuff at them.
No,
That's why but the Warriors game will travel. Dolphins are interested. I'm looking forward to seeing Katoa and Co in the finals for the first time.
I've had an epiphany, Dan. Remember 05 where obviously we remember the Tigers, but Parramatta or the Dragons were the only two teams who could win the comp. Neither made the grand final. I've got a feeling the Panthers are going to miss the grand final.
No!
I've got a feeling one of these ascending teams in the prelim, there's a lot of exciting teams coming through, are going to jag them in the prelim. See how that plays out.
Just put that up, Gibbo. That is a disgraceful... I can't say
I feel bad and
might
dirty about it, but
you're tipping
there's a
Penrith
lot of Penrith players who have been up for 6 years winning at 80%. I'm a little bit nervous. More months is this happening. But anyway, so let's talk about the three. Dolphins, Warriors and Panthers. It's a bit of a round robin. They've all met each other once, and Golden Point, Dolphins and the Panthers, and the other two games decided by 2 points, 20 points to 18. 20 points to 18, and ironically, the last two games, the Dolphins have played the Warriors, the scoreline, 20 points to 18.
Oh, we got a Dragons-Broncos repeat here.
And that cost us a fortune. You shouldn't be telling people.
I know, so it's close. It is, these three are close.
This is what the Warriors have to watch out for. Last week, the Cowboys tore them to shreds on their left edge defence. Now, Chanel Harris-Tavita, usually one-on-one defensively, he's very, very strong. He gets caught in field. Centre has to jam in. Braden Burns, your man, sure goes in untouched. Scotty Drinkwater gets to his outside. He's too fast for Harris-Tavita. On this occasion, Scott Drinkwater scores. And again, they're all trapped in field. Your man again, Sugar, goes in untouched. That's really poor and will annoy Andrew Webster. I don't need any reason to show this highlight of Katoa's pass earlier in the year. But that big left to right cutout should be hanging in a museum somewhere. They're going to go after that side of the field once again, which brings me to my flares. Or flare. Jermaine Azarko 2+. He'll see a lot of footy. But you just have to have the hammer in and about. It is a daytime footy. If they're up and about scoring points, the hammer's going over.
I've already put you in, Shawnee.
I like it.
The confidence this man exuded, I've put the bingo tick already for our man.
You're paying him out already.
Bang.
All right, so you're both on the Dolphins for this game.
I got a quick weather update from you as our weatherman.
Yeah, raining.
It's going to be...
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the crowd there in this game?
Well, Warriors will bring some.
Yeah.
Brisbane. Dolphins, I worry about the Dolphins getting crowds when it rains because they don't like travelling from the peninsula. It's not the easy. But Warriors will bring 25.
Oh, more than 25, surely.
North Queensland versus Penrith. North Queensland versus Penrith.
Treated that with the disdain.
Well, it's going to rain. I don't want to be negative. I'm excited about that game.
Same.
North Queensland, Penrith. Penrith, bring back Tyle, Cleary, Yo. No Mitch Kenny. He's still a week or two away. Taumalolo's 300th. They sort of treated his record-breaking game with disdain, the Cowboys, so I'm not sure how up they will be for this, but they have a great record over Penrith recently. Now, I think that's somewhat beefed up, sweetened by the fact they've copped them at the right times, post-origins, players being rested. But at the same time, I think it was a pretty full-strength Penrith side last year, went up there and it was a 30-all draw, and the Cowboys won the two before that, including one in Sydney. Early last year, again, Penrith were playing some of their best players. So, for whatever reason, Cowboys match up well against them. The line is a big one.
It is.
It's a big one, 13.5.
A little bit like what you said about the Dolphins being able to sort of worry the Panthers. I feel like the Cowboys sort of play that style as well. Like, they can throw some chaos footy at you. And the form of Scott Drinkwater at the moment, like last week, I know it was a big loss in the end. He got them back into that game. We saw some vision before about him setting up Braden Burns on the right, scored one himself. So he's up and about. Won't be there next year. If you're a Dragons fan, you should be very happy with the form of Scotty Drinkwater. If they are to have some luck, it's got to be that side of the field. You got to look pretty hard, Sugar, to find a weakness in the Panthers' edges. But it is that left around Blaze Talangi. I think that's where Scotty Drinkwater's going to play.
Absolutely. Satili Tupanua, Preston, they gave him a bit of a haircut out there, and Arama Howe last week. So that inside shoulder in particular of Blaze Talangi, that's where they'll be going. And here's
There it is.
Preston. Wonderful stuff there. And he did the same thing the year before to Blaze Talangi in those finals. Here's Arama Howe over the weekend. Does the same thing. Look, so for me, it is Hylam Lukey. Look at this guy. This is the guy that's going to be running and charging straight towards Blaze Talangi. Can he possibly handle him for 80 minutes? That's the play for me. That is the flair.
Right.
Hylam Lukey to score 1. And by the way, on the feed, I've just put up
That's good odds.
Dolphins Roosters grand final. $21.
Oh, there we
Wonder
go,
what
the
you were.
Roosters
He
again.
just he
The Roosters,
scurried.
unbelievable.
He scurried away there for his phone. I knew you were doing something. What? Can we get a price check on it?
$21.
I was sitting on the back porch. I said, Robbo, I think you'll make the grand final against the Dolphins in 2024. Yeah, it's an old joke. For the new people, that's a very old joke.
I love
Get
that
them on
back
side.
porch joke. It's good.
Manly versus Melbourne. We've got to power through these. Brookvale. No Jerome Hughes for Melbourne. So Manly, Felity comes in for Garrick. No Kobe Hetherington. Joey Walsh at 14, I see. But pretty normal looking side for Manly. Melbourne coming up. Melbourne are putting together some wins here. 5 from their last 6. They've trailed at half-time just 3 times this year. That's amazing. Under Fosball, Manly, despite the fact they looked awful last week and lost against Canterbury, they've conceded 20 plus just once under Fosball. So I got a feeling this might be a low scorer as well. 7.5 is the line. Kick us off, Joel.
Yeah, he's coached 10 games now for Manly. They've won 7. So that's a good record for Coach 4. And incidentally, this is the 15-year anniversary of the Battle of Brookie. He scored in that game, Kieran Foran, as a little bit of irony there. Tony Williams scored in that game. Billy Slater scored in that game. But let's talk about the Hopowatis. The Hopowatis, who love scoring tries in the number 5 jumper for Manly. John Hopewadi has scored the most in a season in 1995 with 21. He scored 15 in 1997. Will scored 14 in 2011. I think Lehigh's going to go past all of them. What do you notice about those 3 years, boys? Manly played in the grand final
There you go.
in all those 3 years.
Wow.
He is loving Fosball, this guy here. He hadn't scored a try, and then Foz turned up coaching. He's since scored 12 tries in 10 games. He's missed out once.
Yeah.
He's missed out once,
That's
so
right.
he's cashing in.
Can
You
I take?
undersold him a win, by the way. Now, we're pro Kieran Foran here. He's won 8. 8 of 11. 8 of 10.
Okay.
Hang on, let me check. Let me check.
Hang on, while you're checking, can I take the positives?
8 of 11. 8 of 11.
I'm going to take the positives of your Lehigh and just throw a little negative in there. So we saw Will Warbrick have a field day under the high ball last week for Melbourne Storm. This is Hopper. Some non-committal stuff happening under the high ball. He doesn't want any part of this high ball. Sugar, he turns his back there, doesn't want anything to do with it. Once again, turns his back, nothing to do with it, doesn't diffuse it. Raiders almost come up with the ball there. And this is Warbrick last week. Now, Jerome Hughes isn't in the side. That's one little worry about it. So a lot of that kicking to put it on the tee has to be, to put it on the spot has to be done by Tyron Wishart. But my flair, Joe Chan, going to be a target. Toltau Kola, too fast. Armand Latte, because I'm worried about the point stand.
Yeah.
Into the unders, 48.5.
Hey, John, if you mate, if you hear anything about this show,
Here we go.
about it was definitely Sean the Trader who was talking about him. Dan Ganane and myself had nothing to
Nothing
do
to do with it.
We're
See you,
doing,
mate.
we're doing comedy now, are we?
Is he in the supermarket? I like Melbourne in that game, by the way. If at 7.5, 7.5's too much, isn't it? Or you on the Fosball bus?
Garrick's a cheeky out.
Yeah.
Jerome Hughes is a cheeky out.
Yeah. I like Tyron.
Right, Canberra versus. We've got 2.5 minutes here, gents. Canberra Dragons. I've got the flair. Semi Sasangi is back. Dragons have been flimsy on the edges. Canberra. I can see Dragons winning this game, by the way. Sasangi, woo! First try. He's already done it 3 times this year. So $11. Newcastle versus West's Tigers. Tigers have got a funny record up there in the Hunter. A funny good record, actually. So I wouldn't be shocked if they turned it on here. But Newcastle are in a very nice place. Ponga and Lucas is back. But the big ones, Adam Dewey returns. Alex Twal returns. Tigers are starting to look back to what they've been. It's in the Hunter, as I said. What have you got, Joel, here on this game? The line, only 6.5, so there's a bit of respect for the Tigers.
Yeah, their best venue, second to Leichhardt. They love playing there up at McDonald Jones Stadium. But the halves are having a field day against the West Tigers at the moment. They're conceding 9 line breaks a game in more recent times, the West Tigers. And so halves are in and around the action. Quite often they're the ones who gave the pass in the first place, backed up the middle and scored. So a lot of halves are cashing in. Here's Jade Campbell. He's going to support up the middle here and get the pass from Kinney, who went berserk in that 10-minute period. And Cody Nikorima does the same last week. So this is a concern for Coach Benji Marshall. Another player who supports up really well here is Dylan Lucas, boys. More than half his tries, Dylan Lucas, are support play. So he's going to be right in the action. Fletcher Sharp, I think, is going to be right in the action. And Sione Fainu, he got those 2 tries off kicks from Benji. So, same game multi, FLAIR time for me, Lucas, Fletcher Sharp and Fainu of the Sione variety.
Now, you know I've been on the Newcastle train because I saw their draw and said get them on at 240 because they've got 17th, 16th, 15th, 14th, 17th to play. I think we might be just slightly over-indexing. Rain again forecast. Tigers are 2-0 in the wet this year. Newcastle, an attacking team, haven't played in the wet.
They smashed them too earlier in the year.
I got this feeling what Tigers are going to win this. I think it's going to be very close.
Yep.
I got a feeling we're going to find out about Newcastle in the next few weeks, good or bad.
Yeah. Well, they need Adam Doueihi like oxygen, massive in. And I thought they were incredibly unlucky with Jock Madden leaving the field early. Patrick Herbert left the field early as well. That's a big reshuffle to any team. They can keep it close.
But Newcastle, when Ponga plays, averaging 34 a game this year, 6-1. Oh, listen, I go in. I've been pro Newcastle, and they've been kept to under 20 just twice. So can you believe a team could change that much in 1 year? That's what the Dragons, I think, can look forward to next year. They can't score points now. You bring in Scott Drinkwater, they might be able to do what Newcastle are doing this year. Anyway, best bets right after this. Get them onside. All right, thank you for joining us once again. And a reminder, you know by now what these are for, Mark. Why can't I get the beanie straight? Because when you look at the camera, it's the other way around. And $1,000, that's all right. Anyway, $1,000 obviously per try. But if you want to buy one of these and you can actually get it nice and straight, because I can't, markhughesfoundation.com.au, or what's the supermarket, Seano?
I want to say IGAs, but the website's the way to go. Yeah,
I think it is IGA.
I think it is.
I think
Probably
it is
should have worked this out
IGA. You
before.
should have checked before. A bit of professionalism on this show.
Or at the grounds as well.
Oh, at the grounds too. I tell you how popular they are. In the first couple of years, I did a game in Melbourne and they sold out there. I went to buy a couple. No, sorry, we've sold out. So I'd go to the website as well. You can get all our feed bets on the socials as well, so don't forget to do that. That's where you're going to see the $20.75, and we had the $6 Braden Burns last week. IGA and Woolies, I've been told. So Woolies and IGA. Now let's do this. And now I'm very sorry. This is, again, we're doing this far too often, very anti-football. Titans Dogs, in what world are there 47 or more points scored in this game? These two sides are not great attacking teams, so give me the under to get us off the mark.
Genuine heavyweights in this competition, the Dolphins and the Warriors. This will be a real tussle. The last 2 times, 20-18. I'm also going to pop that on the feed, 20 points to 18, exact score. Under 50.5.
So this is 2 weeks on the bounce where I'm the anchor, which makes me nervous, Sugar. But we can't be accused of not being a show for the true punter. Unders.
I don't like it.
Manly versus Melbourne, night game, weather around Dan, which you said, Jerome Hughes out of the side as well, which, you know, they lose some attack there, the Melbourne Storm. But Manly also a big unders team at Brookvale, and it's going to be low scoring.
All right, so you can find that on our feed, and we'll be back next Thursday. Matty Rogers will be here, so we're on after Matty Johns. There'll be an Origin show coming up the Sunday after as well, so plenty to come. Thank you for watching. Get 'em onside.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.